Before this meditation begins, I'd like to say a few words about forgiveness. Forgiveness is defined as the absolute refusal to hold ill will against someone for what they did, for what took place. It is not letting someone off the hook. It is having the intention to disconnect and to let go of the situation that occurred, whether it occurred one time or whether it was occurring over a long period of time. It is agreeing, it is committing to releasing the anger, the hate, the pains, the disappointments, the resentment, the guilt, any and all of these lower energies that were associated with the infraction from another party or the repeated fractions of another party. So this is a time to let go. And even though we want to let go, it is shown through research that trying to let go by ourselves, trying to forgive by ourselves is not very easy and not very effective. So this recording is meant to support you through the forgiveness process. And the process is a process that you may need to use repeatedly. It may be awkward at first. As you do it, you will find it easier to do. So it's something that you'll need to get comfortable with, and over time you will find that it is effective. Just by melting into the meditation and participating in the meditation, and if it becomes too much, then you step aside. Otherwise, just continue meditating. And if you need to step aside, then come back to it at a later time. But by doing this meditation on forgiveness, you are able to restore your mental, emotional balance and no longer feel as a victim. There is never a reason to feel as a victim, and forgiveness is a process of releasing that victimhood. It allows you to go ahead and love that person once again. As difficult that might seem to be at this time, it is something that is possible, or at least it is possible to come to a place of neutrality where you're no longer feeling a victim. So let's go ahead and find a comfortable place, and we will begin this meditation with some relaxation, and then we will move into the forgiveness component. Let's breathe deep, 5 long, slow, deep breaths. Inhaling and exhaling through the nostrils. And let the breath go long into the belly, pushing out the abdomen. And exhaling, letting the lungs empty out and the abdomen relaxing. So give yourself permission to relax. Give yourself permission to relax. Take time connecting with your breath, noticing the rise and the fall of the belly, noticing feeling the sensation of the breath on the inhale, filling up the lungs a little bit, and then relaxing. And after the long 5 slow deep breaths are completed, then come to the breath and notice the body breathing itself. allow the body to find a natural rhythm, natural regularity of the breathing process. Let the breath settle into the lower abdomen. And the more the breath comes into the lower abdomen, the more the body will automatically relax, the heart rate will reduce, the blood pressure will reduce. And if the breath hasn't come down into the belly, into the abdomen, then notice the breath where it is. And allow the breath to relax the mind and the emotions, relaxing the body. There is no pushing or pulling to bring the breath down. It's merely watching the breath, setting the intention to have the breath move lower in the abdomen, moving into the lower into the torso, moving into the abdomen. Give yourself permission to relax. 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 And notice the body breathing all by itself. There's nothing you need to do. There's no control that you need to have. The universe will breathe your body. Allow yourself to relax, relax, relax. And relaxation occurs by maintaining focus on the breath process and having the intention to have the breath move down into the abdomen. Now let's begin the forgiveness meditation. Let's begin by giving yourself permission to forgive. Set the intention to forgive this person, this party. And it may even help to find yourself imagining sitting next to a warm, comfortable fireplace, or maybe sitting outside near a fire. Find yourself comfortable. Maybe being in your favorite chair, or the favorite room, favorite place. And visualize the other party sitting across from you. And go ahead and look the other party in the eyes. And speak out loud to them. speak out loud, heart to heart, and tell them your feelings. And keep in your eye contact. And allow yourself to feel the feelings, to have the intention to release these feelings. So it's okay to possibly be upset because of these feelings that are surfacing as a result of this situation that occurred with this party. But what you want to do is be as mindful as possible. Notice these feelings coming up, noticing them being present, and witnessing them as much as possible. Watching them. And this helps take some of the sting out of the emotions that are going to be present as they come up to be released. Now, as you look at the person in the eyes, tell them what you feel. Tell them if you're angry. Tell them how mad you are. Tell them how it made you feel. And don't hold anything back. And if you feel like yelling and screaming at this person, then please go ahead and do so. So express those emotions. Let those emotions come up. Notice that energy. Notice how it feels in the body. Let it be released. Let all that energy that's been stored up for however long it's been, let it be released vocally, because maybe in the past you haven't been able to vocalize with this person the harm that was caused you. But now this is a safe place, a very, very, very safe place to do that. So let those feelings come out. And speak your mind as long as you need to. If you need to say it over and over again, if you need to yell and scream over and over again, then go ahead and do that. And if tears are coming up, then let them flow. It is great therapy to have those tears flow. Let them know why you did not care for it, why it was not right in your perspective, why it was wrong, why it was inconsiderate. How it was hurtful. If you need to pause the meditation to continue doing that release, that sharing of the heart, then go ahead and pause this. you're ready to continue, then go ahead and play again. Now, moving on to the next step, it is the other party's turn to express how they feel and what they need to say to you in response to you. So this is now the time for you to listen. Just like they listen to you, you're going to listen to them. And maybe they're going to say some things that are not very pleasant. Maybe they're going to be apologetic for what they did. But imagine that these are heart-to-heart discussions. No camouflage, no costumes. Heart-to-heart discussions. And allow them to respond to what you had to say. And allow them to voice how they felt when the infraction occurred. Maybe what they were thinking of at the time, and then maybe later they realized they did something that was not very supportive or it was hurting. And they never had a chance to apologize or correct the situation. So allow them to speak their mind, to speak what's in their heart. And then when they are completed with what they have to say, then you once again have an opportunity to respond to them. And they are going to listen to you, looking them in the eye, heart-to-heart connection. Go ahead and respond to them. And now that you know what they shared with you, how would you respond? How did that make you feel? Maybe you're sorry that they had to carry this around for such a long time. Maybe they've shared a perspective that was unique to them and it was painful for them. But it's an opportunity to sympathize, to understand. And it doesn't mean it was not hurtful for you still, painful. Maybe caused lots of ill will for a very long time. So go ahead and have a discussion with them, share with them what you need to, how you need to respond. Once again, if you need to stop this meditation while you continue sharing with the other person, then go ahead and stop it. And then come back when you're ready. And once you've completed saying what you need to say, go ahead and switch again and let the other party respond to you. And be open what the other party has to say, how the other party feels. Be sensitive to their feelings, just as they are to yours. And allow this back and forth to continue until there's nothing to be said any longer by either party. Everything that needs to be said was said. All the feelings that needed to be expressed have been expressed. There's no more energy in these feelings, in these thoughts. They've run out of fuel, they're empty. The charge has left them. Now, once that has happened, let's take a moment to step outside of the ego. Imagine both of you in your higher self, in your spirit, if you will. You're going into a higher perspective. You're looking at this whole situation, this whole forgiveness process, and how it impacted one another. And you're going to look at it from a balcony perspective. You're going to look at it from a higher perspective. So if you were to step outside of yourself and rise above yourself, rising above the body, mind and emotions, and the other party is doing the same. What needs to be said to one another from a higher self perspective? So without any ego involved, what would your higher self, what would your spirit, what would your open heart, pure open heart have to say to the other person? Is there an understanding that exists now that never was understood before? Is there a compassion or sensitivity present? Or is there a learning that occurred? An insight? And then go ahead and share that with that person. How was this whole process, and sharing that with them, and what you've learned, what you experienced, what you would like to say from a higher perspective. And then switch sides and allow the other party, let the other party's higher self say what it learned, what it experienced. wisdom came through for them. And then come back to yourself and tell the other person how resentment has been serving your ego. And let them know all the ways that not forgiving is costing you happiness, costing you anger, illness, physical illness, anxiety, ill will. But these are the kind of feelings that the ego loves to hang on to. It wants to feel bad for itself. So what has been the cost of not forgiving? And you can pause this meditation if you choose, if you need more time. And when you're done, you can switch to the other party and let the other party skip that. Now, after you've done with that, cost of forgiving, reflection, with eye contact, a powerful eye contact, tell the other person that you are going to forgive them. Say it however you would want to say it. You can say, I do not agree with you for what you did. I do not condone it. I may not understand it. But I free you completely for what you did. I free your mind, your body, your soul, in all aspects, in all levels, for all time. That you choose to let them go. That you choose to be free. That you are doing this to free yourself. Maintain that eye contact when you're doing this. And take as much time as you need. And then when you're done, you can ask them to forgive you. Ask them to forgive you. And maybe they're not able to right now. Maybe it'll take a second time through to have them forgive you. It might take a second time through for you to feel comfortable saying, I forgive you. And that's very normal. These things we have not forgiven that we have stored for such a long time in the cellar can be painful experiences. Obviously, that's why they're down in the cellar, a place we never go. But by going down there, turning the light on, letting them go, we free ourselves. And we also free the other person. may recall that fire that you were sitting to, or that very, very comfortable place. Go ahead and throw into the fire any unhealthiness that came from the process. Anything that you think needs to be discarded, whether it's more feelings, whether it's thoughts, ill thoughts, put all of that into the fire. Toss it outside the window or put it in the trash can. See the trash can being emptied. See everything just dissolve and disappear. And you can also scan your body and notice if there's a particular place in your body that feels uncomfortable still. And ask for those feelings to be brought up and put into the fire, released. Take your time to do this and pause the meditation if you need to. And now go ahead and tell the other person how you would treat them in the future, now that they've been forgiven. Tell them what you appreciate about them. And see yourself connecting with their higher self in the future. Going forward, seeing a different type of connection, a higher connection. And see yourself going forward with this person, if you choose to, if you can at this time. But going forward with forgiveness. Once again, keep in mind that you may need to go through this process more than one time to have comfort to be able to take some of these steps. But that is the natural process of forgiving. There could be many layers that need to be released. Consequently, going through this process multiple times allows those layers to be released. And there could be many layers. It doesn't mean that you need to have a forgiveness process for every layer. You could release many, many, many layers at one time. But you will notice when you're making process, because you will feel lighter. The second time will feel better, most likely, than the first time. And you will begin feeling freer. So imagine a future with this person, if this person is going to be in your future, where there is no resentment. That it's easy to communicate. There's no friction. There's only harmony and gratitude. Gratitude for the other party. So go ahead and be thankful to yourself. Thank yourself taking this time to forgive, for self-care, for healing, for rebalancing the system, and making a conscious decision to let go of the past and live tomorrow in a more free, relaxed, comfortable place. Now, as we return, let's wiggle the fingers and the toes and notice where your breath is. And once again, let's relax, 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 relax. Notice the body breathing, letting go, just watching, observing. So this will conclude this meditation. And we'll conclude this meditation. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.